Welcome everyone to another video. This is Joshua, aka Future Filmmaker 39480 here, where we do movie reviews, TV reviews, top 10 lists, rankings, music related stuff. And I decided to, instead of doing individual reviews for the remainder of 2018 videos I've yet to put out, I decided to do two more 2018 catch-up videos. So this is 2018 review catch-up number 2. I am going to do this in a voiceover format, and we are going to talk about 5 different movies here. So basically, Creed 2, Mary Poppins Returns, Alpha, Instant Family, and I Kill Giants. So we're going to start off with Creed 2. Creed 2 is directed by Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, and the story of this awesome movie is in 1985, Russian boxer Ivan Drago killed former U.S. champion Apollo Creed in a tragic match that stunned the world. Against the wishes of trainer Rocky Balboa, Apollo's son Adonis Johnson, or Adonis Creed, accepts a challenge from fighting Drago's son, another dangerous fighter. And under guidance from Rocky, Adonis trains for the showdown of his life, a date with destiny that soon becomes his obsession, and now Johnson and Balboa must confront their shared legacy as the past come back to haunt each man. Like I said, this is directed by Stephen Caple Jr. I accidentally made an error there where I said directed by Ryan Coogler, because Ryan Coogler, he doesn't direct this movie, but he does stay on and executive produce the film with Michael B. Jordan. And this is directed, like I said, again, directed by Stephen Caple Jr., written by Sylvester Stallone, from a story by Sasha Penn and Cheldar Coker. And this is the 8th movie in the Rocky franchise, but it's the second film in the Creed series. And I have to say that Creed 2 is not as good as that first Creed, but this one I think is really, really entertaining. It's really solid. Let me just say, I like the story here. I love the story. It's basically a mix of Rocky 2 and Rocky 4. And I like the little tie-in that they wanted to go there. I think that was a very nice choice to go. And I think it was a very interesting way of doing something different. I must say that I think it's very different from what we are used to seeing. And the idea of Creed going up against Victor Drago, I thought was really awesome. I thought that was a really great idea to go with. I thought it was very amazing here, and just to see that, I thought really goes into a very intriguing experience for the film. You get more characters development and more character moments with Rocky and Creed. I really love those moments. I thought those moments really stood out to me the most, and the way they do it was really great. And this basically was a fight over 33 years in the making, and it lived up to the premise. The character development was really solid. The cast, Michael B. Jordan, still a great actor, coming off of Black Panther last year, which he was freaking phenomenal in that film as Eric Killmonger. I thought he was once again great here. I really loved the rest of the cast. Of course, Tessa Thompson, she's really great here as the love interest, even though she suffers from progressive hearing loss, and she's basically his fiance and the mother of his child. Felicia Rashad is great. Wood Harris once again does a great job. You got Milo Ventimiglia as Robert Balboa Jr. He's amazing, and he's a dad himself. You got Russell Hornsby from The Hate You Give. It's great to see him here before The Hate You Give. Dolph Lundgren. He's really great in this movie. I loved him in this movie. Yes, he looks way older here, but still, still great actor. Florian Montanu, who is actually a boxer himself, he was really great. But we have to talk about Sylvester Stallone because this is basically the last movie for the character of Creed 2 because he has said that Sylvester Stallone has said that this is his final appearance in the Rocky series. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up doing more films with Michael B. Jordan. And the soundtrack is really great. I do love the direction. Every time you see a boxing scene, you can't go wrong with boxing sequences. They are essential to the series, and that's why I really think the film really sells out the most. As far as problems is, I do feel like the film is a little too long, and it does kind of drag, and and the whole scenes with his ego and body shelter and all the stuff that goes on here. And just there are some moments here where I do think some of the dramatic moments go too far, but the last fight is my favorite part of the movie. I don't like the first fight. Well, I do like the first fight. It's just Creed should have listened. But overall, I will say I have to say Creed 2, it is a pretty enjoyable film. It's a great film. This was one of my favorites of 2018 if you didn't see the list. And I will definitely give this one an epitastic. Now, let's move on to Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins Returns stars Emily Blunt, Ben Whishaw, Lin Miranda, Angela Lansbury, Colin Firth, Emily Mortimer, Julie Walters, Meryl Streep, and this is directed by Rob Marshall, based on the book series of the same name by P.L. Travers. And in this movie, this film, um, in this one, it takes place in 1935 London, and Michael Banks is living in his childhood home, and basically he is struggling with hard times. He has to pay off this huge debt, or else he's going to lose his family's house because something to do with his late wife. Then we have Mary Poppins shows up, helps them refine the joy that they have as a kid, and his only hope is to find a certificate that shows proof of valuable shares his father left him years early. And this is just a pretty entertaining sequel. I didn't think a sequel to Mary Poppins could work, but it did. It actually worked quite well, and I just thought that the film it was very entertaining and very awesome to say the least. I really enjoyed this movie for the most part. Let me go into my negative side first, because I do have some negatives in this movie. this movie does rely way too heavily on the first one, which is not a problem with me in Star Wars The Force Awakens. But when it comes to this film, it is a problem with me because a sequel to Mary Poppins should be its own thing, and thankfully it is its own thing. It's just that most of the time I can't help but feel like this is just the first one all over again, just done differently in most parts. Also, I kind of feel like this movie goes on for a little too long. I feel like the film just goes on for way too long. That it winds up becoming a a little bit of a drag. But I will say that the film does a good job at what it was trying to do, and it does have its entertaining value to it. I can't say that. I can't say that it is a bad film. Um, I have to say that there are some parts here that I just think are really great. I really like the acting in this movie from everyone, from Emily Blunt to Ben Whishaw, who does a fantastic performance in this movie. He brings it every single scene. I think he just really does a fantastic job at playing this part of the brother. Emily Mortimer, very cute. The kids were fine. And the rest of the cast was pretty cool. I love the musical numbers and I love the direction, cinematography here. It's just that the film is a little slow and basically relies on nostalgia a little too much. But this is one of the better sequels to a film. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I love the original Mary Poppins even though I didn't grow up on it. But honestly, this is a very entertaining film. So I'm going to go ahead and give this film a better than Vampire Academy. Next up, we have Instant Family, which Instant Family stars Mark Wahlberg, Rose Byrne, Isabella Moner, Octavia Spencer, and is directed and written by Sean Anders, and based on parts of the actual guy actor's previous experiences. Tongue twister there. The plot of Instant Family is that we meet these two loving romantic people, and they find themselves in over their heads when they decide to take in some three young kids. They've been taunted by relatives, think they'll never have kids, so they meet with these two social workers, Karen and Sharon, and they are brought to a fair where they have the chance to go up against kids. So they decide to take on Lizzie and her siblings, Juan and Lita, and they do that. They take them in, they have dinner, and then we go from there. This was a very earnest and great heartwarming film. I thought Instant Family really was great. I think the way this movie was handled, I just thought was really great. The choices that they made here, I thought was very, very awesome, and I thought it was very cool to see something very different here, and the way they decide to go here, I thought was very intriguing. I really enjoy the awesome aspects here that they wanted to go. I felt like the story, you haven't we've seen it before, but I do like the sequel. Um, just a lot of entertaining things I really enjoy to see here. I love the characters. I like the story and the heart and soul of it. It really brings you there as you're watching film. And for the whole time sitting there, I was just sitting there with watching a very entertaining film. I thought it was really awesome, and it was just a fantastic film to watch. Acting in this movie was very strong. Rose Byrne, Mark Wahlberg, Isabella Moner, coming off of Sicario Day of the Soldado. She was amazing in this movie as the bratty teenager, and she was not the problem with Transformers: The Last Night. It was not her fault with that film. It's I am a little upset that she has to be a part of the Dora the Explorer movie, which comes out on August the 2nd. Oh, man, Michael Bay. But I will give it a little bit of credit to what they're trying to do there. But it is supposed to be a family film, but considering that you got Michael Bay producing, I'm not sure. Now, I will say that the entertaining factor there is really cool. I really enjoy the whole music. The technical aspects are really great. I did have some problems when it comes to the familiarity and the sentimental stuff towards the end with the whole mom and the drug thing. But I will have to admit, if there's anything I can give to this film, is the acting. Like I said, is great. The story is intriguing. I love the decisions that they wanted to go for in this movie, and just the way they handled this movie, I thought was really amazing. So I can't fully falter this movie for doing something different. Because in the end, all I'm gonna do is hate myself. So overall, despite familiarity, and it may not be 100% real to the whole idea of family adoption, I will say that Instant Family is a good movie. And I'm going to give Instant Family a better than Vampire Diaries. Next up, we have I Kill Giants. So basically, here is you have a teenager and she must face her worst fears in increasingly dangerous ways when a horrible giant threatens to destroy her small town. Basically, with her, she's obsessed with her fantasy world. She um believes giants are coming to attack her whole town. She creates weapons, traps to fend off the creatures. She meets this one girl has moved away from her hometown, and Sophia wants to know her, but Barbara says no. And so a confrontation. Then one day, school life ain't going right, home life ain't going right. Yeah. So, I Kill Giants is actually pretty good. I'm not going to spend too much into it because there's not really much for me to say on I Kill Giants. Is basically, I feel like the entertaining factor here is really good. I really like the direction and I really like the writing of this film. And Anders Walter makes a really great directorial debut here. I like the script. I like the idea And I think the idea is really cool, and I really think it's very awesome to see. And it just is very different in the way you would think. This is from Chris Columbus, one of the producers of Prisoner of Azkaban and the director of Home Alone and the first two Harry Potter movies, which are amazing, by the way. I like the story here. The story is really cool. It's like you take a Monster Calls and you do something different with it. That's what I really like in this film. I think that was the most interesting fact. I think that's the most amazing fact here. That was very cool to see that there, and it was pretty darn cool. The acting in this movie from everyone from Zoe Saldana, Mass and the Wolf, Emil Poots, and Sydney isn't mostly a small cast, and they do the best what they could here with the script. The script is very well handled. It does suffer from some of the cliches in the of usual fantasy films, and it does get a little bit too sentimental here. But the movie goes by very fast at an hour and 46 minutes. I was sitting there enjoying it. I was entertained. I was just intrigued in what was going on here in this movie. And the visuals are very impressive too. I really love the visual style of this movie. And I just really think that this is a really awesome film. It is definitely one of the more underrated and overlooked films. And how I heard about this movie was from my good friend Samuel Wonderworld. He, I heard him talk about this, and it does have a little bit too much of moody elements there, but it's a fantasy drama and I can deal with it. So I'm gonna give I Kill Giants a highly recommend it. And now the last film in this basically 2018 catch-up review is we're going to talk about Alpha, which stars Cody Smith McPhee and is directed by Albert Hughes. And going into Alpha, I saw trailers, but I really wasn't interested in it. And then I saw some reviews, and I said, "Yeah, I'll check it out." But after seeing this movie definitely is underrated. This film is underrated. I have to say, I really do like the film. The emotional weight of the film, I really like the emotional weight here. I like the story. Young Keita tries to survive alone in the wilderness after he's left for dead during his first hunt with his Cro-Magnon tribe, and he soon forms an unlikely alliance with a lone wolf that was abandoned by his pack, and facing overwhelming odds and non-stop danger, Keita and the wolf must now trek through harsh and unforgiving landscapes to make it home before winter. I really love the story here. It's a historical adventure film. I really like that kind of stuff. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's very intriguing. I think it's very, very awesome to see. And just the way that this film was handled out was really emotional. I think the emotional moments are really touching. I think the the scenes between the two are in, the two the dog and the young Kita. I thought those are really well done. Those are some of the best scenes in this entire movie. Also, I have to say that I really do appreciate the whole other idea and concepts I that they decided to go with. I really like the ideas that they wanted to go with here. It's very cool seeing something like that there, and the story was really well directed. Albert Hughes does a really great job with the direction. The script is very well handled. I really love the music and the cinematography and the editing. The film is an hour and 36 minutes. It goes by quick. There are some predictable moments here, and there is some moments that can be a little bit too emotional to watch. But I will say that I actually think this is more underrated than, and I think it's better than what people has been giving it credit for. So, if nothing else, I will say check out Alpha. I'm not spending too much time on this because I just, yeah, there's not much I can say. Mm. So I will give Alpha an epitastic as well. So let me know what you guys think of this 2018 Catch Up Reviews number 2. I have one final 2018 Catch Up review, and that is going to cover The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Elseworlds, the Lifetime Netflix TV series You, and also going to finish it off with On the Basis of Sex, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with the last 2018 film I need to review, which is First Man. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I need. And what about Dumpling? Yeah, I'm going to review that. So we probably are looking at 7 different things I'm gonna talk about, but I'm hoping not to make that one too long. So I'm just gonna, instead of just breaking down the positives and negatives, I'm just gonna go through those. But so yeah. Be sure to follow all my social media links down below. I want to thank you all because I've officially reached 1K subscribers. You guys keep it cool. Join the epitasticness. I will see you guys in more. Bye bye. And be on the lookout for my review of Alita Battle Angel coming and premiering on either Wednesday or Thursday at midnight. Bye bye.